Oh wow. Okay, hi guys. I'm trying to set up, but my ring light is trash. And if you're laughing, my brother is playing video games like always, so okay, this light is not any better. Mm. This is pretty good, but I can't get my light to stay like this, so okay. Uh it'll do for now. Okay, so I can still explain you what the Cruel Prince is about. Um, it was my favorite series of all time, and then they decided they wanted to give it a movie, and I was like, okay, well, this isn't my favorite series of all time anymore, but that's okay. Like, I'll still claim it up until it gets the movie, and then when it gets the movie, like, I'll pick something else to be my fave. But basically, it's the Cruel Prince is about. Wow, I feel like I'm doing another review. But The Cruel Prince is about this girl named Jude, and she lives in like the human world. It's kind of an urban fantasy, but not really. You know, like it has the real world, but they're set in like a fairyland. So yeah, Sally is getting the movie. But so it's about this girl named Jude, and she lives in like the real world, and she has two sisters named named Taryn and Vivian. And so one day they're like just chilling with their family, you know, and then these people come and they kill their parents, and then they kidnap. Well, not kidnap. It's kidnapping, okay? So they take Jude, and it turns out that their sister Vivian is actually the daughter of the guy who takes them. And he takes them because, you know, that's his daughter, and the mom like hid it from him, and he wants like his daughter in his life. And so since he killed their parents, he decided he had the responsibility of Jude and her sister Taryn, even though those aren't his kids. And so now they were like really young when this happened. So then and that's not spoilers, like that's in the prologue. And so then they grow older, and this is about Jude. I think she's like 16, 17. You know how YA goes, you know, they're really young, even though they low-key shouldn't be, but whatever. And so it's basically about Jude, and she wants to be she want I forget what she wants to be. It's not a knight. It's not a knight. She doesn't want to be a knight, but she wants to like fight, you know. And then the guy that kidnaps her, not her dad, but Vivian's dad is like, no, like you can't do that. And then she's like, but I want to. And then like the book takes like so far from its plot. Like you would think, like, first of all, when I first heard about the book, I thought it was about to be like this cute, like fairy story about this guy who's like cruel to her, and they like fall in love. But no, that's not what it's about. It has like death, and it has so much death. And of course the prince is cruel. Don't go into the book being surprised when the prince is cruel. But also, to me, he wasn't that cruel. Like I was expecting him to like throw Jude off of a cliff, and he never did that. Like he was never real cruel to her. So yeah, it's in modern times, like it has the real world in it. Like it's this one scene where like they leave fairyland. It's not what it's called, is it? I'm a fake fan. They leave fairyland and they go to like the human world and they go to the mall. Like, you know, like they like it's like that. Um so yeah, there's that. I also think you guys should read The Gilded Wolves, which I just did a book review on it. I did like a double book review. I did it on The Gilded Wolves and A Curse of Dark and Lonely. But I love The Gilded Wolves so much. A Curse of Dark and Lonely is actually an urban fantasy as well, which I really like that because it's like they have like a fantasy land, but they also have like the real world. Like I like being able to see stuff that's like in modern times, but that doesn't have like pop culture references. Is that if that makes sense? So like you could read it at any point in time, and you would be like, you would. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just trying to throw in that I hate pop culture references, I guess. So, my light is still trash. But yeah, I tweeted that I was going live, and I don't know, maybe it was too early to go live. But it's not toxic. Oh, I can see how many people was in the live stream on here. I'm so used to going live like via like Google Hangouts when I'm just with my friends. Like this is my first time ever going live by myself. So I'm learning here. Also, I have a snack. So yeah. I just got off work like 2 hours ago. So your girl is hungry. But first of all, there is no relationship in The Cruel Prince. There is a romance aspect, but like not really. You know, if you love Hate to Love, then the whole book is romance. Like, you know, like if you love when characters hate each other, then like yeah, like like literally, for me, because I have a tab strictly for romance. So when there's a romance scene, like the characters will literally be like, "I hate you," and the other character would be like, "I hate you," and I would be like, "This is romance." Like, so if you're like me, then yeah. But like honestly, if you know, if you don't really care about Hate to Love, then like it's not really like there's stuff happens in the end of the book. But throughout the book, spoilers. I can't say anything. I'm sorry. I've said all I can say. So I can't tell you if it's toxic or not. But I don't think it's toxic because it's a hate to love trope. And I think people sometimes confuse hate to love with being toxic, if that makes sense. Like, because it's not all flowers and lilies, and they're not like, you're the most beautiful person I've ever seen. People are like, that's so toxic. Like, no, they're not toxic at all. They hate each other, yeah, but it's not toxic. Yeah, you have to read it to see. And also, I am like the worst person ever at explaining things. So I'm sorry. Oh, hi Isa. This is just you guys watching me eat. This is a mukbang, I guess. But I also went book shopping. I went book online shopping. Also, I need to check my bank account because there's this one book that I want to read, and I found it on Barnes and Noble for $7 in the hardcover because I hate paperbacks. And I keep spending all my money, and I just pre-ordered. Oh wow! I just checked my bank account. Oh my god. Okay. Anyways, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, I low-key hate pre-ordering from Amazon, because I pre-ordered the Priory of the Orange Tree, which I'm so excited for. I wish I got the spray edges, but I pre-ordered it from Amazon because I pre-ordered A Curse of Dark and Lonely from Barnes & Noble, and it took a week to come in. Like, the release date was Tuesday. It came out the next Tuesday. So I was like, no. So I pre-ordered from Amazon, but Amazon, they don't take the money out until, like, later. Like, they probably not going to take my money out until, like, 2 days after I get the book, which, I mean, yeah, that's cool. Like, future me will have to deal with that situation, but also I don't want future me to deal with that situation. And then I pre-ordered 4 Dead Queens for my sister as well, and they didn't take the money out for that. And, like, the money isn't, like, if I don't physically see the money has been taken out, I'm going to keep spending my money. So, really, this is Amazon's fault and not mine at all. Like, none of it is my fault. It's all Amazon's fault. I already have a good amount of money in my bank account, surprisingly. But I just also got paid literally yesterday. And I also managed to spend, like, I want to say $100 almost. Almost $100. And so far I'm doing well. But this is supposed to last me until Friday after next, which, like, my book buying habits, I don't ever see me being able to save money. So, what do you guys think about the TBR cards? Like, the ones, like, that people get from Michael's and, like, all of those. Like, I want to know you guys' opinions on those. See, I'm glad I don't have a man, because that's the only time you ever hear me saying that. Because I don't want people to make me be responsible with my money. I mean, I probably should want that, but I don't. Okay, so I want one of those cards, but I don't want it for a TBR card, because in that case, my whole bookshelf will be moved to that card, considering I haven't read, like, majority of the books I've owned. I want to say I've read, like, 20% of the books I've owned. Like, I want to do a video on books that I've read, but literally it would be a bookshelf tour, and I would just be like, yep, haven't read this. Like, literally. Loki, all of these books on this shelf, I have not read. I've read this, and I've read A Court of Thorns and Roses, and then I've read it. Okay? On this shelf, I've read The Wicked King and the Cruel Prince, Six of Crows, A Curse of Dark and Lonely. And on this shelf, I read The Gilded Wolves. So you see, I don't need a TBR card. So what I want to do is, I just want to get it because I am running out of space on my bookshelf. So what I would do is, I think I would buy the card, and then I would just put books on there. But I would use it just to put books where I can't put on this shelf. Like, you know, like, it wouldn't be a TBR card. I would just put books on them. But I think they're, like, really cute. And, like, I want one. I think getting one for college would be good. I was going to get my sister one for her birthday, but Jake is getting my sister something for her birthday, so there's no point in me getting her a card. I don't know why I said something as if she doesn't already know what it is. Jake is getting my sister a bookshelf for her birthday, but so it wouldn't be a point of me buying her a card yet. I am going to, like, if she wants one eventually, I'll buy her one. But I think for college that would be good. I know that one Disney chick on BookTube, she's in college and she has one, and, like, it's so cute in the background of her videos. Well, okay, so someone said Akatar got optioned for a film. What do y'all think? I don't care. So, I'm not, like, an Akatar stan. I've read Akatar. I'm going to read Acromath soon. I have 4 more books left on my TBR. Wow, I'm literally crying. I'm supposed to be reading this, Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, and I read 2 sentences. Yeah, a car in general would just be like really cute. That's why, low key, Cecilia from That One Disney Chick started this trend. Like, I'm not even playing with you guys, because before her, I don't care what anyone says, but like before her, I seen no one with those cards, like no one. And then all of a sudden, I see them everywhere. So, Homegirl started a trend. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. I got literally 50% through. Well, actually, I don't want to say 50%. I'm gonna check my Goodreads to see for sure, but I haven't finished it yet. So I'm 44% through it. I did this thing where I was gonna read the whole series in 24 hours, and literally when I tell you guys, I was so stressed out. So I just was like, no, I'm not doing this. Like, so I never finished it. And I was like, ooh, because I read it in December, so I was like, ooh, I'll read it in like January 1st. So that way I could say I read 1,000 pages in January, and like it'll be like the biggest book I read that year. I'm not doing that. So it's long, and I love the movie so much, guys. Like, it is one of the 2017 one. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. I've only want to finish it because of the second part. Yeah, I almost DNF'd it. Let me put my chips down, because I have an issue, okay? Okay, so the thing about the movie that like not the movie, the thing about the book that bothers me a lot is the use of the N-word. And like, I get it was set in the 80s, and I get it was written in like a time where like low-key people didn't care about that use of the word. But I just feel like wasn't necessary for Stephen King to put that in his book. Like, I feel like I don't know how to explain it. Like, I feel like he thought it was necessary because he wanted to show like it wasn't used in a bad, like, of course it was used bad, but like it wasn't like Stephen King was writing it just for an excuse to write the N-word in his books. Like, it was to show like how the character was treated and how people would call him that. But also, I feel like, was it necessary though? Like, but at the same time, I do understand, but also I'm kind of just like, was it necessary? So I have mixed, like, when I tell you guys, I have mixed feelings about it, because like literally my brain fights on how I feel. Like, my brain is literally like, the 2% brain that I have is literally fighting on Stephen King loves his slurs. My sister was reading Under the Dome. No, even in it, they used the F word a lot. And I was like, oh, sister, no. And then I got to them using the N word, and I was like, sister, what is this? Like, you know? And my sister was reading Under the Dome, and she was saying that he used that word a lot. And honestly, I want to be a Stephen King stan, but like, I read The Long Walk and I liked it, but also it was good. It was 4 stars. But I don't know. I'm trying to get into Stephen King. I'm reading Desperation, and I've been reading it for like almost a week now, and I'm bored. And everyone's like, it's so good. Like, I feel like Stephen King, his writing is like the first, like, cause even it is like this. The first big chunk of the book is so uninteresting. It's so uninteresting. And then I feel like it picks up a little bit more, like after the 50% mark. But I wouldn't know because I get bored. And like, I just feel like he uses like the littlest details, and he drags it out for a very long time. And then it's like, like it's just like the smallest. I feel like it's like, but it helps the end. But it's like this one small detail. He writes like a whole 50 pages for it, and it helps towards the end. But it's like, did you really need 50 pages for this detail? You know? And like I want to be. I want to have my own Stephen King shelf. I want to have more Funko Pops like from it and like Carrie. I want the Carrie Funko Pop. Carrie is like one of my all-time favorite movies as well. But the book has to be the worst thing I've ever read in my life. Like I hate the book so much. But that's because I'm an idiot, and the way it was written in like it was written in like documents. So like you read about it through documents and through other people's views on it. So I kind of just wish you followed Carrie in her story, like in Carrie's mind, which you kind of do, but you also follow like Sue and like documents and like interviews and like all that stuff, which I mean would have been cool, but it wasn't. And like it was his first book, so like nobody cares. But if he would have written it, like I feel like if he would have written it like through Carrie's mind throughout the whole thing, like no documents, none of that, Carrie would have been one of my all-time favorite books because it's my all-time favorite movie. But the length of it isn't that bad. Like, I mean, I don't know. I can't be like 1,000 pages that bad because I averagely read like maybe 300 pages a day, 400 at best. So I don't know. Maybe which is why I suggest like booktube games. Like if you want to read it, I say you join the summer booktube games. This feels like promo, but it's really not. I say you join the summer booktube games, and any books that you have that you feel like intimidated by, you just wait that out until the summer booktube games, and then you read those big books for the summer booktube games, because that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, everyone, like when I started reading Desperation, like everyone was like, haha, it's so amazing, like it's so scary. And there were parts that had me shook, but then also throughout the book, I was listening to audiobook as well. I was like zoning out because I was like, this is so boring. Like, why is everyone saying like, oh, it's so good? Because I don't see it. But I want to read Desperation because I want to read The Regulators, which is like the alternative universe one. Something like that. It's like the same characters, but like a different situation or something like that. And like the covers, if you put the covers together, they match. And that's the only reason why I want it. I don't care about the actual plot. I just want it because if you put the characters together, they match. I think, no, my sister has, I do want to read The Stand. Okay. Maybe I should pull up the Stephen King books I want to read, and then you guys tell me if you read them, because I want to read The Stand. I want to read 1129, whatever, the one about John F. Kennedy dying. Actually, I'm not going to pull up the Stephen King books I want to read. I do want to read The Stand. I kind of want to read Misery, only because it reminds me of Misery by Maroon 5. And like every time I think of that book, I think of that song. Like it's in my head right now. I want to read Misery, but not really. I don't really care about it. Like a lot of his plots, I just don't care about. Like, I do want to read his newer book. I want to read The Outsider. And I want to read the newer book that's coming out in September, the one about the superhero kids who are all like locked in this one area, because it's like this. Oh, I want to read Firestarter. I want to read Firestarter. I want to read Rage. I read The Long Walk and I liked it, but I want to read Firestarter because they say that the newer book is like Firestarter and It, and I was like, I love It, and Firestarter is about superheroes. Well, it's not superheroes, but like someone with superpowers, and I'm trash for superheroes and superpowers and all of that. Yeah, I never planned on reading Sleeping Beauties. Like, that was never in my list at all. Oh, no, I know exactly what scene you're talking about. Is it Kaylee? How you pronounce it? Do you pronounce it Kaylee? But yeah, that end scene with the kids, I heard about that too, and I was like, Like, I think of them as my children, you know? Richie being my favorite of my children, but I think of them as my children. And so when I was told about that scene, I was like, why would you tell me that? Wait, which Stephen King book is a miniseries? Hi Angela. Oh yes, I do. Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. 11/22/63. Whatever. No one knows or cares. So, I do. I'm not one of those people who are like, I have to read the book first before I watch the movie. But I want to. Typically, most of the time I want to. But I kind of like watching the movie and then reading the book, or watching the show and then reading the book, because then I have a picture of like how it is in my mind. Like when everyone says that they read Game of Thrones, they said that they watched the series first, and it helped me imagine the book better. And I watched Love, Simon before I read Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens, and I love the book. I low-key got mad, but I'm the kind of person who gets mad when they take out a lot of stuff. So I was happy I read it when I did, because they took out they didn't really take out a lot, but literally any minor changes in like a movie or like a TV show or any kind of adaptation, and I'm like, y'all are about to get sued. You guys like my shirt? I got it from the store I work at, but like in a different city. And but yeah. And then I had to cut it into a crop top because when I put it on, I felt like it made me look like a little boy. So I mean I still look like a child, but I cut it into a crop top. And I think it was really cute. I think I look really cute today, so I went to do a live. I should have done a BookTube Games live stream, but like everyone's like busy, so like towards the end of the month, so I kind of just was like. Plus, I want to do more live streams on my channel. Like I think it would be fun to do one like once a week, or if not once a week, then like once every 2 weeks or once a month. Like I do want to do more live streams because they're fun, and even though I'm talking to myself, I'm not. Oh, I should turn on my Christmas lights. Okay, I'll be back. Wow, that made the lighting so much better. A little bit. I'm so mad at myself. Yeah, I was watching someone else's live stream, and they do live streams like often, but they do it on IG. And like I would like that, but I do them. I've done 2 on IG so far, and like they're fine. And like only a couple of people watch it. It doesn't matter how many people watch them, but it's kind of all my subscribers are on YouTube, so why not do live streams where my subscribers can watch? Like genius. I'm eating Lay's. Literally 2 seconds before I started this live stream, I was eating an oatmeal cookie, but I should have brought more snacks up. I want to make chocolate covered strawberries, but I kind of want to save that for my vlog, my week vlog that I'm going to do next week, because I have majority of the week off. So, but yeah, I have a 24-hour readathon vlog coming up. Maybe Sunday, maybe Monday. Who knows? And then I'll have the week reading vlog. I love how I said I was going on hiatus, and then like literally a week later, I was like, psych, I'm back. But I love filming too much. Like I have so many ideas, and I love making videos, and I kind of like editing, but like not really. I love it too much to go on a hiatus. Like I said, I was like, I'll be back in like March, but like really, I meant I would be back 4 days from that video. I'm very indecisive. I'm a Virgo. Can you tell? Yeah, I think I'm gonna on this channel specifically, I think I'm gonna always make booktube content. I kind of do have like other things I want to do, but they're all like books and like TV show related. And like I do have another channel where I want you to know that my brother asked that question, by the way, one of my brothers. I do have another channel where I do makeup and stuff, but like nobody cares about that channel. So maybe like if I get a little bit bigger, I'll start like another channel where I do other stuff. But for now, like I don't know, I would like to talk about my wigs and like things like that, but I'm not really a chip kind of person, to be honest. I'm boring. I only like regular Lay's, wavy Lay's, hot Cheetos, Fritos, and Munchies, if any of you guys know what those are. I'm very basic. I'm not a chip kind of person. I'm more so of a candy kind of person. So like M&M's, Skittles, any kind of chocolate, as long as it doesn't have like almonds in it or caramel. But I like Snickers. So yeah, thank you. I do have some wig videos. I only have 2. Maybe 3. I do want to do videos about my piercings. I only have like 2 piercings plus my ears pierced, but I've had those since I was like 1, so I don't really count those as piercings. But I want to do like a video on like my piercings, and like I want to get a tattoo eventually. Maybe with my taxes or something, probably not. But I do want to get a tattoo, so maybe I'll do like a tattoo vlog. Like I don't know. I do want to kind of branch out from booktube, but not like really. I don't know. I have so many like I do have a lot of good YouTube video ideas, but also I don't do much, and I don't feel like I have anything to add to YouTube. But like I feel like I have a lot to add to booktube, if that makes sense. You guys see like all my paperbacks down here that I hate, so I put them down here. I've been in the mood to read Stranger Dreamer lately, and like I don't want to, because what if I love Stranger Dreamer? And I have the paperback, and I have this paperback. But what if I love Stranger Dreamer and I want to find the hardback edition that everyone's selling? I low-key have some good arcs. Like I always say to my friends, I'm like, oh, I would never give away my arcs, like even if I don't care about them. But for Nevernight, the UK edition, and no, because I don't even know how to mail stuff out, so I would never give away my arcs, only because I don't know how to give stuff out. My sister read Stranger Dreamer and she loved it. My sister isn't like a big fantasy reader. Like my sister does not care. My sister loves contemporary. Angela, I'm pretty sure you know my sister. Like I'm pretty sure you follow her on Twitter, which you guys should follow my sister on Twitter. Her book Twitter is Lovely Luna Reads. But she reads a lot of contemporary. Like her favorite contemporary author is Sarah Dessen. So she read Stranger Dreamer and she loved it. So for her to like it, I know I'm gonna like it because she loved it so much. And also, you're in the booktube games, right, Angela? I think you're on Hogwarts. Yeah. I haven't read Stranger Dreamer or Nevernight, but like I've been low-key looking for the UK hardcover editions of both because they're so hard to find and they're so beautiful. And I'm the type that like I don't know, but at least with Nevernight, the American edition is also beautiful, but not like the UK edition is like more beautiful. But I have the first signed edition. I have to move my my Killmonger Funko Pop. You see my Killmonger bobblehead? Of course he's shirtless. Like who would I be if he wasn't shirtless? But I have God's Grave first signed edition, and I have Nevernight first signed edition, and I haven't read Nevernight yet. So there's an issue there. I don't know. And I also need to get the what's the last one called? I literally knew what the last one was called, but I forgot. But I need to get the last one first signed edition so it can complete my collection. But also, if I don't get it in first signed edition, I'm not gonna like cry about it. I already have. I also have Illuminating signed by him too, so it's like I'm not gonna be hurt if I don't get the last one signed. I'm not the kind of person who cares about signed books, low key, like, or sign anything. Jake was like, "Oh, you should order the Piracy of Orange Tree and send out your email so that they send the campaign email." And I was like, I don't really care about signed stuff. And the cover's kind of ugly. But then he sent me like the poster, and the cover is not ugly. Like, I looked at the cover and it's not ugly. But I just want the spray edges so bad. And like Jake was like, "What if the book blows up? You can sell it." And I was like, "Ooh, T," because I don't really care about posters. Like, I don't ever see myself giving away my books. Like, even Enchante, I have Enchante arc. I would never give away that arc. Because even if I don't care about it, like, I'm not the kind of person who, like, I can't do arcs for trade or books for trade. I can do books for trade if they, like, would like me to buy stuff, but I'm not paying more than $25 for anything. I might pay, like, $50 for, like, Nevernight or Stranger Dreamer, but, like, I knew you were wrong. See, I'm so good at this. I knew you were on Team Hogwarts. Yeah, well, I picked up Children of Blood and Bone. I put it down and never picked it back up. I read it in like July and I was loving it. So, I mean, yeah, I wanted my sister to put me in that group chat, but she was like, "I don't have any friends of my own." Like, and I was like, whatever. My brother literally said, "Can't believe you noticed me." You're literally my brother. But I do like to write books, but I don't think I'm ever gonna like publish a book. First of all, I never finish the books I write. I write like 4 chapters or like a I write a chapter, and then sometimes if I'm lucky I write 4 or 5 chapters, but I never finish them because I have so many ideas for stories. Like literally the smallest thing will like give me an idea for a story. So then I'm starting on that one. So I'm literally always starting on a story, which is why I never finish them, because I have so many ideas and I can't just stick to like one. Like, I have so many, like, I want to write like a super villain, because I'm going to promote this show every chance I get. My favorite show of all time now is The Umbrella Academy. And watching that show, I kind of got the idea of like a super villain, like kind of super villain family story. So then I thought of that, and then I had another idea already in my head that I was writing out. And then before that, I had another idea. So, but also I don't ever see myself being like I don't ever see myself like trying to get published. Like, if somebody came to me and was like, do you want to be published? I'd be like, okay, sure. But like, I would never go out and try to, or like, I would go out and try, but like, if I get rejected the first time, I'm going to be like, whatever. Like, like, I would like to be published, but I'm not like, I don't care, if that makes sense. Yeah, I wrote that chapter and then I was like, bye. Because then I came up, I do have this one story in mind. I've been planning it like since October, and it's like a slasher movie, but like in book form. It's like Scream, but in book form. Like, if anyone has ever read There's Somebody Inside of Your House, first of all, if you read that book, I'm so sorry. It was so terrible. But There's Somebody Inside Your House was basically about this slasher guy who's like killing people in their school, and then the main character is half black, half Hawaiian. So I was like, yes, like, let's go. So I wanted to do something like that because there's somebody inside your house like I was so hyped for because I love slasher horror movies. Like those are my favorite kind of horror movies. And so when I read it, I was so happy for it. And then I was so disappointed. And I was like, okay, well, I'm the kind of person where it's like, okay, well, I can, like, if something disappoints you, like, just do it, but better. Like, if that makes sense. So I had my own idea, and I've been planning it out for a while. But also, typing is also really hard. It's not really. Honestly, once an idea starts flowing with me, like, I'll be typing, and, like, it's really easy for me to write chapters, and it's really easy for me to come up with, like, characters, but it's so hard for me to come up with, like, a plot. Like, I can come up with everything else but a plot. My favorite horror movie of all time is The Tension, and it was made in 2011 and has Josh Hutcherson in it. And I can't tell you what the movie's about because it's a hot mess. The movie is actually satire, like it's completely satire, like the whole movie, and that's why I love it. I love Scream. I love The Babysitter, made in 2017. It was on Netflix. I love that movie so much. Like the camera angles are so amazing. I love Jennifer's Body. Like that was my all-time favorite horror movie for a long time. Nightmare on Elm Street. Basically anything that Wes Craven created, I'm like, sign me up. Detention is low-key like a satire of Scream. Kind of. Not really. I have so many like horror movies to talk about. Like, me and my sister have a video where we talk about horror movies. But it's gonna be so much to edit. So yikes. I wanted to write a book about witches too. Not specifically like just black witches, because like of course that would be awesome. But if you listen to Black Magic by Little Mix, like I wanted to do one based off of their music video. And I thought that would be really cool. But I don't know. I've been planning that story out for like years, and I had like different plots for it, and like I would like I would write it, and then I would be like, I don't like this plot, so I would start over. At one point, like it was like a coven. At another point, it was just the four friends. Like I have so many like archive like story ideas. I'm not really a fan of horror. I'm not really a fan of Sarah J. Maas. Like I don't hate her and don't care about her. I guess I don't really care about her being overhyped. I think she's a pretty decent writer. Like I don't think she's trash. She's a pretty decent writer. She's not like the best writer, but she's a pretty decent one. So I'm not like trash. Jennifer's Body isn't even really. I mean, of course it's a horror movie, but it's not scary. It has gore, but like not like enough gore. She didn't kill enough people in the movie, if you ask me. Oh, hi, Joe. Wow, I love Joe so much. Like, that's so funny because I love Jennifer's Body, but only because of Megan Fox. Like you said. But if Megan Fox wasn't in that movie, I wouldn't have cared. Because nobody died. I mean, like, people died, but like. And I wanted a part 2, but we never got that. Very depressing. Honestly, you can make a scary movie as scary as you want. I genuinely do not get scared. What movie was I watching? I was watching Happy Death Day 2. And when I tell you, first of all, it was trash. But there was this one scene that, like, genuinely, like, freaked me out. And it was a scene, like, if you watch Happy Death Day, you know that their whole, like, the serial killer has, like, this baby face mask on it. And it was a scene where, like, he was, like, in this, like, basement area of, like, an arena. And, like, it was just, like, a baby mask, like, lined up. And I was, like, I would literally pee myself. That was scary to me. Also, the first Purge was scary to me. But not, like, I don't know. I don't get scared often. But the first Purge, I think the idea of it, because the first Purge was basically about how they decided that they wanted to go to the poor to test out at first. And, like, if you didn't leave, then you were going to die. And, like, a lot of people, they couldn't afford to leave because they were poor. So it's like, they were gonna die. And like I just feel like that could happen anytime. Like we all know, not to get like real deep on y'all, but we all know like the most poor people are POC, specifically Black people. So it's just crazy because that could happen to us at any time. And like they did it in like I think it was Staten Island, which is like in New York, but like on the island. I don't know my geographics, but like that movie was just so terrifying to me because that could happen to us at any point. Like the purge it could happen. Like the purge could literally happen. Like that's what scares me. Like stuff that's more realistic. And of course, like people like there are serial killers and all this stuff, but like I've never heard of a slasher, like a real life slasher. And if I did, I probably would like that would kind of be like I'm like really interested. Like, that's kind of cool. But I've never heard of like a real life slasher. And like paranormal stories, like they're like how real could they be? Like they could be real, but like as like paranormal activity after the second movie, you're kind of just like, all right, the jig is up. So for me, like movies that are more so political are like absolutely terrifying to me. I haven't seen Don't Breathe. I haven't seen any like recent horror movies because I am trash. I've seen me and my brothers watched Bird Box and I hated it. If the purge happened, me and the knife that sleeps on my bed, we would be like this. No, if the purge happened, I don't know what I would do. Honestly, I would die. There would be no reason for me to try to leave my house. Like everyone's like, haha. Like I don't know. I'm not the kind of person who has like many wants in the world. Of course, I would want books, but like I'm not about to die for books. No. So like I don't really care about money. I don't really care about jewelry. Like I don't really care about like clothes. So if the purge happened, I'm not about to like that would be smart if the purge would happen. Like if I did care about this stuff and the purge happened, trust me, I would be out in Apple like robbing people. But I don't care about that kind of stuff, so I would just hide. And I'm really tiny, so I can fit into like small places. But like, who knows? Like I watch a lot of horror movies. I would not survive. Oh, Vanessa's here. Hi. Oh, the clown outbreak. Oh yeah, Don't Breathe is kind of a thriller movie. The clown outbreak was so weird. I heard that it was low key to promote it, but then it got out of hand, and that is the most funniest thing I've ever heard. It's like them trying to promo for a movie, and then it like gets out of hand, and so they're kind of just like, we didn't just start this mess. Like that's low key how I picture the situation. Oh yeah, can I confess something to you guys? I still haven't seen Get Out. I watched Split for the first time. Is Split a Beauty and the Beast retelling? Because I think it is. But yeah, I haven't seen Get Out. I'm just really lazy. It's not that I don't want to see them, like I do want to see them. I'm just like so lazy, like especially now because I literally try to read like 10 to 15 books a month, and this month I'm trying to read like 20. So I read so much that I'm good at multitasking, but I can only watch stuff that I've seen before. So I don't have time to watch movies, especially with my work schedule. I literally work like 4 times a week for like 5 hours, so that was a lie. That was a complete lie. I'm a compulsive liar. Sorry. I love it. It is my all-time favorite movie. I kind of want to see X7, but like all these newer movies that are coming out, like I remember I seen on Friend Dark Web. It was trash. Hi Jamie. Yeah, Dark Web was trash. So like newer movies like Escape Room and Truth or Dare, I stay away from those. So I don't know. They're like a different genre because they're not slasher and they're not paranormal. There was this one movie that came out and it was like in September and they were in a carnival and my sister said she watched it and it was trash. I don't know why I just brought that up. I like the newer version. I've never seen the older version. I only liked the newer version because of the cinematography. I don't know why I just tried to pronounce that word. And I thought I was like gonna be like slick with it and it was just gonna like slide right off the tongue, but like no. The camera quality. And yeah, this stuff that goes along with the camera. I think I like this newer it more because it's just up to date, to be honest. Yes, cinematography. Yep, that word. I kind of want to see the new I kind of want to see Glass, but also I don't care. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really care about Glass. Like, it looked interesting. You know what I want to see? I am the biggest X-Men stan ever. Like, I love X-Men. You guys should follow me on Letterboxd if you love movies. I think my Letterboxd thingy is Letterboxd. I think my Letterboxd thingy is probably Mayana Lachey. Yeah. So Letterboxd is basically like Goodreads where you can like log like what movies you watch and you can like rate them and like all that stuff. You can like make a list. But on Letterboxd I have it ranked of which X-Men movie is my favorite. Anyways, my whole point is I really want to see the New Mutants movie. Yeah. I'm at the it looks like this. This down here. And it's really cool. Like I have like my top favorite movies up here, and then these are recently like not watched, but like movies that like I ranked and stuff. And then you can make lists, and you can like in your list you can like organize movies from like you can have them numbered. Like in my X-Men ranked, they're all numbered. The glare from my ring light, but yeah. Yeah, okay. So then you can see like the ranked, and it's really cool. So I'm like really into movies, but I really want to see New Mutants. It's basically X-Men but horror, and I kind of wish they would add more people of color to it. But like I'm so used to people not adding people of color that I don't care. Not that I don't care, but it's like I don't want to keep wasting my breath on saying add more people of color. So I'm also ready for Dark Phoenix because I am obsessed with the whole First Class series. I miss my boy Hovok, Alex Summers, so much. But that scene, I remember watching that scene in the Apocalypse one and like was in the movie theater crying because Hovok is like literally, I'm probably saying it wrong, but Hovok is like my favorite of like the whole like X-Men First Class. But I love Beast. I love Nightcrawler. I love Angel. Who else do I really like? Of course, I stand Magneto and Professor X. And then I think of course I like Storm, but I like Holly Berry Storm. I don't really like what's her face as Storm. I just wish they would have made Storm like dark skin. Quicksilver. I am like the hugest Quicksilver stan. Like the Flash, who? Quicksilver and the Flash were everyone is like, oh, the Flash will win, but like Quicksilver literally Quicksilver doesn't really run fast. He does. He kind of just slows down time. Whereas you can't really say they're the same because the Flash, he can like, yeah, science. Yeah, the newer I'm reading Angela's comment from earlier. The newer it is a lot more funnier. Like they made Richie so funny, and if it wasn't for the kids in general, like Richie, like literally Richie is my favorite character. I forgot all the other kids' names. I Yeah, but the one with the cast, their like dynamic is so funny. Can I scroll down using? Oh, I can. Okay. Uh. Girl, yeah, you. Well, I can't say girl, but you need to watch X-Men. Like you have to watch from the very first one, meaning like 2000, all the way up to the most recent one, and made into like 2016. Well, I'm biased because I love the new ones. Like I love the new ones more than the old ones, and maybe that's because whatever, who cares? But I love the new ones so much, and it's probably because I think all the guys are really cute, and like I like all their superpowers. I will say Apocalypse was. I haven't seen Logan yet because I don't want it to be over, and that's not how it works. But that's how it works in my brain. I also haven't seen Deadpool, but you know what I have seen? Black Panther twice. And honestly, just me getting to the movie theater once was a prize. So if I can get to the movie theater twice to see it, I'm so ready. Like I'm more of a X-Men stan than I am Avengers stan. Like I really don't care about the Avengers. Like I'm just gonna say it. They all could die for all I care. As long as Peter Parker doesn't die, because I grew up on Spider-Man. Like me and my brothers grew up on Spider-Man, so I'm biased towards that. But like, oh, Thor. I love Thor. Like Thor can't die. Of course, Hulk can't die either. But like Captain America versus Iron Man, who cares? I am ready for Captain Marvel. Honestly, at first, I did not care about Captain Marvel. I was kind of just like, whatever. But she's more of a baddie than the Black Widow is. So we now stand. I've already watched Infinity War, and I cried. I mean, is it too late for spoilers? Like the movie's coming out soon, guys. Like, can I just? No, I'm not gonna say it. But I haven't seen the second Deadpool. A lot of people hated the second Deadpool. Somebody said something about the Umbrella Academy, so now we have to stop everything and talk about that again. Yes, the Umbrella Academy is one of my all-time. The Umbrella Academy is one of my all-time favorite shows. Like before that, I didn't really have one. Like I had Teen Wolf, but that was like teenage 14-year-old Mariana obsessed with werewolves and like hot guys. So of course, but the Umbrella Academy is so good. So I'm about to just okay. Yeah. So my favorite characters are number 5 and Klaus. I can't between number 5 and Klaus, I cannot pick which one I like the most. Like it's whoever's on screen at the moment. Like and if they're both on screen, I don't know. Like I don't know. I love Diego. I love Allison. Vanya can choke. I don't hate Vanya. I don't like her either. Like, I don't care about her. We'll get into that part later. This is like a spoiler-free review of the show, okay? That's what this live stream now has come to. But Luther can also joke. But okay, so I think that everyone is always like, oh, well, the siblings deserved what they got. And everyone's looking at it as like, of course, Vanya was abused, but they have to remember that all of the siblings were abused. Like, and everyone's always like, oh, they were so mean to her. And like, every time she tried to help, they would be like, Vanya, go away. And like, they were always like, they never made fun of her because she didn't have powers, but of course they pointed that out. And like, I think that they grew up watching, if they grew up watching their dad treat their sister one way, and then of course they would think he was okay, and if he never stopped them from doing it, they would continue to do it. Because like, that's how, like, if my mom was like say something to my sister, and like I see my mom saying something to my sister at a young age, I would say that same thing to my sister, and then would just grow up like that. Like, they grew up watching their dad treat her like that, so of course they did too. But when they said go away, Vanya, it was always in a protective way. Like, they always were trying to protect her. So I feel like they didn't deserve what they got. Of course they could have been better, but you also have to realize that they're all children of abuse, like not just Vanya. And also, I can't hate Vanya, because of course some of the things she did was stupid, but her dad manipulated her, so of course it was easy for she to get with a guy who manipulated her as well. So like, I can't hate her, because like, if you are used to manipulation, you're never going to be able to see it. But Vanya also just really did some stupid stuff. Like, I can't, and that's why. So I don't really care about her. Like, she's not my favorite, but she's not my least favorite. Like, I love an underdog, but Vanya was, and I don't like Luther and Allison. Like, that whole thing, like, no. But oh yes, the Umbrella Academy is on Netflix. How am I going to be like making everyone watch it and I haven't told you guys it was on Netflix? But everyone keeps telling me to watch Sex Education, and I was like, no. But then the Umbrella, I guess if Sex Education was about superheroes, I would watch it. But because it's not, I read the Umbrella Academy manga. It's not a manga. Why did I just say that? I read the graphic novel, and I liked it, but the art was ugly, so I didn't like it that much. Yeah, Allison and Klaus Allison and you lost me at romance, to be honest. But yeah, even Luther, like, I even understand Luther, because everyone reacts to abuse differently. And so I feel like for Luther, him being abused was him wanting to be liked. And he knew he was number one. So he wanted his dad to think of him as the best. And so he just grew up being used to like wanting to be the best. And like, number one is kind of like being the oldest. And as the oldest, like, we're the most annoying, because we're always like, like, protect, whatever, like, whatever, And so I don't really hate Luther. I just think he's really annoying, and I don't like the whole storyline with Luther and Allison. And luckily in the show, it's like explored, but it's not really at the same time. Like, hopefully in season 2 they just forget about the whole thing. And I will say that muscular Luther can crush my skull, though. That was interesting comments. Girl, I wondered too. But with Netflix, like, we're gonna wait a year to get the season 2. And hopefully we do get a season 2, because Netflix has been canceling everything. Like, literally, they canceled a bunch of shows I didn't care about. Because they already canceled the Get Down like years ago, so I kind of stopped caring about Netflix and what they cancel and all of that stuff. But yes, Robert Sheehan, I love him. He played Simon in the Mortal Instruments movies, which I love that movie. Like, I never read the book. I never watched the show. Well, I did watch the show, but I didn't care about the show. Like, I feel like there's always like three different sides to the Shadowhunters fandoms. There's like the series fandom, the TV show fandom, and then like the two people in the Mortal Instruments movie fandom, which like I'm the second person. Don't know who the other person is, but like only like two people like the movie, and I adored the movie. And seeing Robert Sheehan in glasses, wow, we stand. Yeah, the show, like, we have like fans of like My Chemical Romance, we have fans of comic books, we have fans of superheroes, we have people who are just bored on Netflix in general. Like, we have like fans of Robert Sheehan, which like me. Um, and then like now I feel like the show has its own fans. Like, I follow so many fans accounts. I'm gonna turn my booktube channel into the Umbrella Academy stan channel, to be honest, because I loved it so much. Yeah, Klaus is just that guy. Like, number 5 though, I don't know. If you give me a character who is like grumpy and like such an old man, but like young at the same time, and I'll stand. Basically, like Nick from New Girl. Like, Nick is one of my favorite characters, which I'll also suggest if you love grumpy old man characters to read A Curse of Dark and Lonely. But yeah, like, I love those characters, and I wish we had more of those characters on like books, because I just like when characters are like grumpy and like old, even though they're actually like really young at the same time. But yes, number 5 is, and it's so funny because he's literally like what 50 in like a 13-year-old's body. Like, we stand. And him and Dolores, like, a lot of people are like, oh, they're so weird. I ship them, okay? Ouch. I ship them so much. And the music, my favorite thing about the show was literally, that's also another one of my favorite tropes is, sorry, I'm moving around a lot, so sorry, but another one of my favorite tropes is when characters like are like fighting and then there's someone like listening to music walking past, or like characters are like fighting and like there's like upbeat like pop music, or like music playing while they're fighting, like music that doesn't fit the scene. I love that. One of my favorite scenes in, I'm going to be very vague about this. One of my favorite scenes in the Umbrella Academy was episode 10, the bowling alley scene. The whole bowling alley scene, like everything about it, but specifically like the last part of that scene. But yeah. The Mortal Instruments was more than okay. Okay, let me read that comment because I'm about to go in. Yeah, I feel like if the Mortal Instruments would have came out today with like all the same actors somehow looking younger, I don't know how that would have worked, but it would have done so well because the movie, it followed the book from what I hear. I don't know. I didn't read it. The movie was so good. Like, it was really good. It was so much, like, I remember watching a movie and like I would come home from school every single day and watch the movie. And then I remember, like, you know, years after being over my session watching the TV show, and I was like, what is this? Like, the TV, what? Yes, number 5 drinking, like him like needing like a cup of coffee, me, like him drinking, like literally the thought of a 13-year-old boy being an alcoholic was like it's so funny to me. Ooh, creepy version of Peter Pan. Sign me up. No, the scene where he gets Dolores was so funny because it's like, oh, Dolores, like it's been so long, and then like it shows her, and I'm like, is this a joke? Is this a joke? Like, there has to be more to this. I still don't believe that Dolores is just. I don't want to say what Dolores is because I don't want to give away spoilers, even though it's not really spoilers. But like, I still don't believe that that's Dolores. Like, I think there's more to it because, like, come on now. Well, I'm not gonna say that number 5 was hot because he was played by a young actor, and I'm 20, and that's weird. And he's my son, so I'm not gonna be like, oh, he's hot, because I'm pretty sure he's like 13, 15. But he's adorable, yes. But saying he's hot for me would just be weird, and I'm not that kind of girl. You know, that's not me. Also, let's talk about how in the Mortal Instruments, isn't she like 16? I hate how in movies or TV shows where they change the age of the actress or the actor so it could fit. Yes, Asa, you're 15, so you can find a man's that you can have that I can't try to steal from you. Okay, so there you go, Draco. We'll see about that one there. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, yeah, but yes, he plays an old man, but that old man is like 50, and I don't like old men, so. Yeah, she like sequencing, and then the lady, she was just like. Do you mean the ABC Family show? There is no Netflix show. No, I'm just kidding. That show is trash. I don't care what anyone has to say. That show is trash, and the only good thing is that one character with that one character. Alex, is that his name, or was it Alec? What is it? What is his name? Yeah, the two gay characters. That's like the only good thing out of the show. The guy who plays Jace, the girl who plays Clary, the girl who plays Clary is actually really beautiful. The guy who plays Simon is actually really hot. Also, I really like Raphael, and there was a brief moment when I wanted Raphael and Simon to be together, but also I want Raphael for myself. So, T. Yes, Alec and Magnus. Asa, you know me. What does TSC stand for? The Shadowhunter Chronicles. I don't know. I don't read. I have the series. It's up there. But I don't have the series. I have Lady Midnight. You guys just made me want to read that. No, I don't. Never mind. I have Clockwork. I have the whole Clockwork trilogy, and I have Lady Midnight. I really want to read Lady Midnight. I really want to read that whole like trilogy, and I want to read Clockwork Angel. But like I'm reading it, and I'm like, I'm almost done. Like I'm a good percentage through it, but it's so boring. Like it's so boring. Tessa is so boring. I don't even care about Will. I don't care about Will. What's the other kid's name? Starts with a J. James? Jim. His real name is James, though, but they call him Jim. His real name is something with a J. I don't care about him. I don't care about Tessa. I don't care about Will. It's so boring. I don't know if you were saying you gotta go because my opinions are dumb or if you really have to go, but let me know. Yeah, it's really boring. Like, I'm like, okay, where's the T sisters? Low key, my plan for the series is to read the Mortal Instruments, the Infernal Devices, right? I'm gonna order the whole Infernal. I'm confusing myself. Okay, let me slow down because I'm thinking too fast and my brain is like shutting down. Um, okay, so I'm gonna read the whole Infernal Devices trilogy, and then I'm gonna buy the whole like Mortal Instruments series, and I'm not gonna read it, but I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna read like a crash course, like I'm gonna watch like a crash course video or like read what happens in it, and then I'm gonna jump right into Lady Midnight. So that's my plan. I mean, I'm probably not gonna buy it as soon as possible, but I'm gonna buy it eventually because I want my own like Shadowhunters Chronicles shelf. But like every time I think about getting into the series, like Cassandra Clare is like, I'm releasing 3 more books, and I'm like, literally, if the books have more than 2 books in the series, I don't want to read it because I am a lazy reader. Like literally, I was talking to Whitney and she was like, "Oh, of course you know Whitney." She's like, "Read Shatter Me," and I'm like, "All right." So then she was like, and then I looked up how many books there were. I was like, "Yikes, sister! I'm not reading that." Like literally, if it has more than like 3 books, I don't want to read it. Unless I'm reading it as it comes out, which is like fine. But like, why do you think it's taking me so long to read Throne of Glass? Also, it's just taking me so long in general because like the Throne of Glass book is so boring. Yeah, Azo, when I get done, I am just gonna come to you and you can just summarize everything. I think you should read The Cruel Prince, but also it's becoming a movie now. So if you like it, you can just take it. You can just say it's your favorite book because I don't want it anymore. I'm gonna find something else. Who knows? Maybe Skyward will be my new all-time favorite book because now that The Cruel Prince is being turned into a movie, I don't want to care about it anymore. But what are my thoughts on the Jesse? I cannot pronounce his last name. Controversy. That whole situation really upsets me. Not on his part, but I mean, of course, I'm disappointed in him. Duh. But it really upsets me because now people are gonna look at situations like that and are not gonna want to believe it. Kind of like with rape stories, where your first question is, well, not yours specifically, but like a person's first question is, what did the girl do to do this, or is the girl lying, or the girl probably made it up. Where with rape stories, like no one ever wants to believe the girl automatically; they always think of the guy. So now, with situations like this happens, where it's like racial or based on his sexuality, people are gonna look at it and be like, did he fake this? Like, this is probably fake, like, And also, the situation as a whole upsets me because of the fact that like people are talking about him going to jail and people are talking about him like getting fired from Empire. But if he was white and the people that did this were black, first of all, they would have like executed them, and second of all, they would have just tried to forget this whole situation. Like, they would not have been trying to fire him. They would not have been trying to like ruin his career. But I personally believe because he's a person of color and because he's black in general, they are like they want to like make sure his career is like over. But if he was white, they wouldn't have cared. They would have tried to make it seem like this situation never happened. And that's the tea on what happened. Basically what happened was this guy who is an actor on Empire, he was jumped and like hung by like some white guys he's also I believe he's gay and he's black, and people were thinking it's like a not only racially profiled, but because of his sexuality, people think that he did it. I mean, people think that like confusing myself again, thinking too fast. So people was like, oh, well, because he's black and because he's gay, like they hung him, which of course even I knew that. But then it came out that he faked it, and like it was a lie and he planned the whole thing and it never happened, blah blah blah. And now he's been removed from like the last 2 episodes of Empire, and people want to like put him in jail. And yeah, I don't care about Empire. I used to really love Empire, but too much. Like, I love drama, but the show is just too much for me. Like, I watched Star on Fox 2, which is like the producers of Empire, and even that show is too much. Can you guys hear me scratching my leg? But my leg is like, yikes. Yeah, I want to read Throne of Glass, but it's so many books in that series, and like Kingdom of Ash is so big. Not to mention, Kingdom of Ash is so ugly. Like, I wish my brother would shut up. Kingdom of Ash is so ugly. Like, it's like this really gold, like piss yellow cover, and all the books are like tones, like a nice decent tone, and then she gets like this really bright yellow color. Like, who's gonna put that on their bookshelf? Not me. Not I. I'm not putting that on my bookshelf. Ew, you guys can't hear my leg scratching. Continues to do it. A lot of people didn't like Lady Midnight. Honestly, I know nothing about anything with new Netflix. The only reason I knew about the Umbrella Academy was because Jake told me that to read the graphic novel, and I was like, no. And then my sister sent me a link, and she was like, oh, the show's coming out. And I didn't watch the trailer because I never watch anything my sister sends me. And then the show came out, and I was like, Robert Sheehan, okay, bet. And that's why I watched it. So I don't have time to watch TV this month. Like, I don't have time to like be on Netflix or anything unless it's like New Girl and it's like something or like The Vampire Diaries, which we're taking off Netflix. So I do watch Hulu, watch All Night on Hulu, and watch On My Block on Netflix. But I basically just, or like if it's Modern Family, Blackish, Grownish, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like if it shows like that, then yeah, I have time to watch those because I don't have to put too much attention to them, like while I read. But my most anticipated release or read at the moment, I just pre-ordered the Priory. I hope that's how you pronounce it. The Priory of the Orange Tree, and that is currently my most anticipated read. It's coming Tuesday, so it's not that anticipated. Like I literally pre-ordered it like spontaneously yesterday, and now I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. Like, that's so weird because I didn't know about the book. I didn't care about the book, and then I pre-ordered it yesterday because it's about it's a lesbian romance about dragons, and like I love dragons. Like, I love dragons, so I was like, I'm excited now. But I'm gonna get my bullet journal so I can like literally tell you what my most anticipated is. Okay. Well, some books I purchased recently. I do want to do like a haul video, but it's gonna be a very short haul video because between January and February, I actually haven't ordered that many books. So in January, I bought The Last Namsara, A Court of Mist and Fury, like 80 Peter Pan books. Vicious, not by V. Schwab. I already had that. Curse So Dark and Lonely, Stranger Things, After the Fire, and in February, I brought Skyward, which is this, The Gilded Wolves, which is that. I bought Name of the Wind and Game of Thrones, which should be here soon. I bought Four Dead Queens for my sister. Well, I pre-ordered it for my sister. And I got Fury Born, but I bought that for a friend. I'm just gonna say it because he never watches my it's not a book about lesbian dragons. No, it's a book about not lesbians, but yes, and it happens to have dragons in it. But I bought Game of Thrones because it has dragons and you stand. I bought Fury Born for Jake, and then I bought the Priory of the Orange Tree. But My most anticipated reads will have to be The Devouring Grey, which who's the publishing company for that? It's not Wednesday Books. It's not Bloomsbury. Who is it? Whatever publishing company that is, they still haven't sent me the arc yet. I got the arc for Wicked Saints, which is also another one of my most anticipated books of 2018. But The Devouring Grey is like my most anticipated. I also just requested an arc for the We Are Blood and Thunder. I just requested an arc for that. I'm trying to find the page where I have all of my my releases that I want. Okay, I found it. Okay, so February don't really have any. In March, I really want to get Superman, which is the last book in the last book in this series. Well, not the last, but in the DC Icons series. I want to get the Waking Forest. When the Sky Fell on Splendor is like one of my most anticipated books so far. Also, I really, really want to read The Devouring Grey. Like that, number one, like is my most anticipated. I have the Wicked Saints arc, but that's also on my list. I'm gonna mispronounce this so bad, but Aurora Rising. I really want to read that. Sorcery of Thorns. The Crow Storm, Spin the Dawn, and then I have Tunnel of Bones, which is the second book in City of Ghosts, which I didn't really like City of Ghosts. So I want to read it, and hopefully Victoria Schwab calms down on her Harry Potter references. But if she hasn't calmed down, I'm not finishing that series because I can't do any more Harry Potter references in her books. Like I would literally shoot myself. Oh, I really want to watch Schooled. Okay, what do you guys think about Game of Thrones? Because I really actually want to get into it. Like, I don't really read much high fantasy. I read Throne of Glass, which is actually pretty easy to read, but nothing happens in that book, so I don't care about it. So I want to read Game of Thrones, but I know it's a high fantasy. And I watched the TV show, and I watched like 6 episodes in the first season, but I stopped caring. So, what are you guys' opinions on that? And if you read The Name of the Wind, what are your opinions on that as well? The Wicked King is like 30 times better than The Cruel Prince, but it depends on what you like. Like, of course, I think it's better because like it has all the stuff that I like: betrayal, smuts, Carden. Ooh. Yeah, I don't really mind. I guess first of all, I'm not really a fan of pop culture references. Like, I'm not really a fan of it. So of course I automatically don't care. But also she references Harry Potter so much. There's literally after chapter 8, there's like 10 references to Harry Potter. And the book is small. I'm gonna show you. The book. You see how tiny this book is? She references Harry Potter like 20 times. Underrated contemporary with the road trip aspect would you recommend to fans of Amy and Rogers' Epic Detour? That's a very specific recommendation. But I wouldn't know because I don't read contemporary. And I mean, I do read contemporary, but like I don't read I read dark romance. So. But yeah, I'm gonna read Game of Thrones like throughout March. Like it's not gonna be one of those books I finish. I don't know. I'm gonna read it for March. It's on my March TBR. I created a TBR for February, and I made a list TBR, and so far I've read almost every book on it. I have like 4 more books left to read, but for me, reading 4 books on my TBR, I'm sister shook. So I created a TBR for March, and hopefully I stick to that as well. No, I didn't hate the TV show or anything. I just stopped. I didn't think it was boring. I just stopped caring. You know? Do I have a book that's less than 300 pages long? What am I doing? Like, do I have that book tag? I don't think so. I don't have a book that's short. Alice in Wonderland. The Foxhole Court. It's less than 300 pages long. But I haven't read it, so. Oh, hi, Brittany. Yeah, I watched the show. Like, it's not that I hated the show. I just stopped watching it because I'm gonna be real with y'all. I was watching it illegally, and I was getting tired of going to the illegal website I was using. The government is literally gonna be at my door. Like, the government is at my door right now. But yeah, I was watching it illegally, and I got so tired of like struggling to watch the episodes, and my computer kept freezing. Well, my phone kept freezing. So I was like, you know what? I don't have time for this. So I just stopped watching it. But yeah. Yeah, a lot of people said that they watched. I feel like I said this already. Wow, I'm having real deja vu right now. Like, I'm having like some real like deep. I'm so shook. Anyways, bye. But what was I saying? Yeah, a lot of people were saying like, oh, if you they said that they watched Game of Thrones and then they read the book and like it helped them imagine stuff. Oh, I literally did say that. I did say that earlier. It's not deja vu. I literally said that earlier. Oh, hi, Monty. Yeah, yeah, this is definitely turning into the do I have that book tag. So I did film that, and then I didn't like the quality of the video. So I'm gonna wait until I reorganize my bookshelf, which I probably never will. So yikes. I don't plan on reorganizing my bookshelf. Like, my bookshelf is like perfectly how I want it at the moment. Maybe if I get a third bookshelf, which also should be a while from now, because the next thing I'm gonna get is a book cart, and yeah, that's like the next thing I plan on getting, and that'll last me a good couple of months too. Yeah, a book cart is gonna last me a while. Wow, I've been on here for an hour and 34 minutes. That's crazy. Yeah, yeah, I don't see myself using it for like a TBR or anything. I literally only see myself using it because I'm running out of space and I can't get a third bookshelf. And like, I still have like all of this space right here, but with my book buying habits, yikes. And I don't like using my bottom shelves. Like, I hate, like, that's my sister's shelf, which don't look at Twilight. Nobody cares about that. And then I have like all of this stuff here. But like, I don't really care about bottom shelves. So I will just get another cart just for another bookshelf. And I want to like make this area over here. I might like have like this really big corner in my room. It's not that big. That I want to like make like a cute like little book nook in, but that means I would have to clean it, and I don't want to do that. Which book got me into reading? reading all my life. Like literally, um, green eggs and ham, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, Cinderella, Bambi. Like I remember my dad has this whole box of like books that I used to read when I was younger. And when I was in second grade, like we literally like in second grade, I was like, I should have known I was always gonna be reading like so much a month, because in second grade we used to have this thing where like you had like this list, and every night like you had to read out loud, and if you read like a certain amount of books each month, then you got to win like a card, not a card, but you got to win like something to go to like Pizza Hut. And I used to be winning them boys like every month because I was just reading all the time. And then I don't really remember reading after that much. And then, you know, used to have to do like Dear Time. And then, yeah. And then in school, we had Silent Sustained Reading, which is literally Dear Time, but high school. So, like, I've pretty much been into, like, I've pretty much been into reading all my life. I stopped reading when I was, like, in 7th grade, and I started back reading, like, the end of my 9th grade. I don't know. I've always been a reader. I didn't really get into reading as much as I do now until I joined BookTube. I've been collecting books since I don't know. I've always had like this little bookshelf in my room, and I think I started collecting books like I want to say my junior year in high school. Some of the oldest books on my shelf are The Merciless, which I've had. It's all the way up there. I'm not gonna get it. And Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. Like I used to be basic. I used to read like The Fault in Our Stars. Looking for Alaska was like my top all-time favorite book ever. Low key, if I still have those videos up, if you go all the way down to like my recent videos and it asks like, and I do tags and it asks like what's my all-time favorite book, I probably would say Looking for Alaska because it was my all-time favorite. So yeah, I've been collecting, yeah. And then I want to say in March of last year is when I started like building my book collection more. And then when I got my first job in May is when I got like my first bookshelf, and like this is like my first real bookshelf, this one. And so yeah. I know, Monty. Like, I won't say I wasn't allowed to watch TV as a kid, but like, I was literally on punishment like every other week because of my grades. So, what I had nothing else to do, and then my mom like literally used to never let me watch TV while I did my homework. Like, what kind of animal does that? But yeah, I don't really have a book that got me into reading because I've kind of been reading my whole life. Like, sometimes if you ask me that question, I'll be like, "Oh, a candy apple." Like that's the first series I read is a candy apple series, and that's like an anthology series. But like I low key missed out on a lot when I was younger. Like that kind of makes me sad. Like I never read Harry Potter. I never read Percy Jackson. I didn't read like those kind of books. I was reading whatever books my teachers owned. So basically, it was my teacher's fault because they never owned like Harry. Like what teacher doesn't own Percy Jackson and Harry Potter? Like what kind of teacher are you? You know? So it was my teacher's fault because they didn't own Harry Potter. So, like, even my high school teachers, like, my high school teacher had Stephen King, Salem's Lot, which I read and I was, like, so bored. But, like, my high school teacher had Stephen King, but she didn't have Harry Potter. She had The Hunger Games, which I started reading The Hunger Games, and I got to the part right before she entered the games, and I was like, I'm bored. So, I'm going to reread that, by the way, but yeah, like, she had The Hunger Games, but she didn't have Harry Potter. Like, come on now. Who are you? You got a subscription that sent you a book in the mail? Where do you live? Where? Because we used to have like in school, we used to have like the school, what were they called? Like the little school thingies when they would send you a catalog each month in school, and like you got to go through and like pick the books. We was too poor for that. So, and then when the book fair came around, guess what, y'all? We was too poor for that. No, because now I'm a little depressed. Like, I remember in my school, we used to have like this little Santa workshop. So like every year around Christmas, like they would open a little workshop, and you can go down there and you can buy stuff for like your friends and stuff. We would support for that too. Like, but yeah, I guess I stopped reading the Hunger Games right before the good part because I didn't hate it or anything. Like, I was enjoying it. I think if based off what I read then, if I could rate the book, I would give it 3 stars. But I didn't finish it, so I can't really rate the book. But we're gonna ignore that. Yeah, see, I wasn't allowed to do anything that required people to mail stuff to my address. Like, I remember I wanted like magazine subscriptions. Like, being the basic teenage girl, I wanted magazine subscriptions. But guess what? We couldn't afford that. I literally used to go to my auntie's house because she got magazine subscriptions. So I used to go to her house, and she's 3 years older than me. So I used to go to her house, and like I would like take the magazines that she didn't care about anymore, or like she would just give me magazines, and that's how I got posters on my walls. And then like when my mom like started giving us money like for Christmas and stuff, I would like go and buy magazines. Like, y'all, I remember for one Christmas I got like this really big Justin Bieber poster, because if you didn't notice about me, most of my childhood, like from 12 up until I was 17, I was the biggest Justin Bieber fan ever. Like, I was like huge Justin Bieber stan. Like, I had a fan account on Instagram, I had a Twitter fan account. Like, I was the whole nine. Like, I was a stan. Like, how stan Twitter is now, like that used to be, I could relate. Like, my Twitter actually was a stan account. Like, my personal Twitter was a stan account, and then I turned it into a personal account. But I used to have like this really big like Justin Bieber poster, and I don't know where it is to this day. And like I remember bringing it like with me when we moved here, but I can't find it. And like I'm a little depressed because like Justin Bieber was so cute. Yeah, we didn't have libraries. We didn't have libraries in it. Well, we had a library in our school, but they like had like weird, like, in the Addams Family. Of course, I have to relate my life to the Addams Family because that's all that I know. But in the Addams Family, where like Gomez's library, he has like these weird like books that are like all like black and brown and like dirty old colors. Like, they had those kind of books there. Like, they had like encyclopedias and like stuff like that in our library. Like, it was a really big library. Like, I remember being so depressed, like going into the library, like when we had to like do research and stuff. And I would be like, okay, like where's the fun stuff? I think the best part of middle school was when we went to Borders. Y'all, freaking Borders. We went to freaking Borders for a field trip. And I was thriving. Listen, it wasn't Michigan. It was my school that I went to in general. In Michigan, like in my high school, we had a good library. I wouldn't know. I didn't care about any of the books they had there. Because they didn't, I don't know. We used to go to the library like, I don't know. We used to go to the library all the time when I was like in high school. Like, my mom used to take us. And like, I remember grabbing like Click, like the Click, like the one that's turned into like a movie that everyone hates but I love. Like, I remember having that and like Pretty Little Liars, but I never read them because I was like, Wattpad, because that's when Wattpad came out. That's why I never read the library books that I got, because then I thought I was on Wattpad. I was like, oh, like because I had a Kindle. I just got a Kindle, and I was like, yes, like I need a website that I can read free books on and I don't have to buy them on. So I found Wattpad somehow, And that was the end of my high school career. Honestly, I want a Kindle. I really need a Kindle, but I need one that doesn't have internet access, because when I tell you on my old Kindle, like I used to do everything on there. But I miss Borders. Like Borders was that store. Like she was that girl. See, okay. Okay, you're 26, so that explains a lot. Like, not to be like, oh, you're older or anything, but it explains like the subscription box meal service, because you're like 6 years older than me. So yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I really miss Borders. Like I remember going to Borders and like seeing Harry Potter. No, my dad took us to see the first Harry Potter movie, and I remember I really hate myself for this, because my dad took us to see the very first Harry Potter movie, or not the first. When did the first movie come out? I think he did take us to see the first Harry Potter movie, or it's yeah, it was. And we went to go see it in like the drive-through, because we used to go to the drive-through like all the time, which was like my favorite thing ever. And he took us to go see Harry Potter, and I remember falling asleep during the movie because I thought it was so boring. And like then growing up, like every time I came on ABC Family, I was like, I don't want to watch this boring trash. Y'all, I missed out on some really good times in my childhood because I had this assumption that Harry Potter was boring because I fell asleep in the movie. Like, and then the fact that like I've always been into like magic and like not witchcraft. I don't not like, but like I've been into like magic and like stories like Harry Potter. So the fact that I never gave Harry Potter a try because I fell asleep in a movie theater and I thought it was so boring. And then the first time I watched it, I was like 17, and I was like, wow, this is so amazing. And it's like, duh. Yeah, it came out. Okay, it came out in 2000. Yeah, so that sounds about right. Yeah, because I was born in 1998, and then my brother was born in 2000. And then my other brother was born. You know what? I have so many brothers. I'm not going to get into that. Yeah, Borders was like so like Borders was just like comfortable. Like, it was just like so comfy. Like when I go into Barnes and Noble, I seen these girls like sitting on the floor reading it. I was like, haha, that's so cute. And then I remember wanting to like try that and like sit on the floor and like read. But like I literally felt like that was illegal. Like I literally felt like, oh, okay, you were born in 2001, like, oh, a big year difference. You'll be fine. But yeah, I just remember like going to Barnes and Noble and like wanting to sit on the floor and read, but I literally felt like they were gonna arrest me because like it's they literally want you to get in there, buy your books, and get out. I mean, they do have Starbucks. Granted, they have Starbucks, which I'm sister poor. Wow, that's crazy. They probably would like. They probably would. Oh, ew! My scar is so disgusting. I'm gonna pick the scab. Sorry. Yeah, they don't make announcements or anything, but I feel like if they see me sitting on the floor, they'd be like, yo, get up and get out. Like, go away. But, like, we just want to sit, like, of course we can go to Starbucks, but, like, half the time at Starbucks, all the seats are taken. Like, depending on how many people you got with you, like, you can't, like, if you got, like, 4 people, y'all probably not gonna find a good seat. I'm picking my scab. Ew. Uh, Wow, I've been out here for an hour and 50 minutes. So I think I'm going to get off because I've talked a lot. And oh wow, and then you guys send me more stuff. Like that's so nice. I'm gonna stay here and read it. Oh wow, 2 hours, sister girl. You got away with the crime, like with the murder. But I don't go to the library often. I want to, like, of course. We just don't. Like every time I'm like, oh, my mom has an off day, I'm like, let's go to the library. She's like, all right. And then she sleeps until 6 o'clock, and that's like when the library closes. So, I mean, I did have my, like, when I did have a boyfriend, I had him take me to his library, which was like so beautiful, but I don't have a library card. So, yeah. Anyways, okay, it's literally been an hour and 50 minutes. I'll probably be back tomorrow. I'll probably be back next weekend. I don't have a life, so who knows? But yeah, yeah, I'm gonna end this here. Bye. I don't know why I just ended that like a YouTube video, because it's not.